Max Verstappen had quite a challenging race in Bahrain. Finishing P6 was a solid result considering the circumstances, but it still didn't meet the high standards we're used to seeing from him. The four-time world champion expressed frustration with his car's performance, especially the brakes, and how unstable it felt in the corners, regardless of the tires. The real question now is, with Tsunoda being the closest teammate Max has had in years, are we starting to see Red Bull slip towards the middle of the pack? If that's the case, how will it affect Max's future, especially after the intense team meetings that took place? For Red Bull, it's a tough situation. Having both drivers start P7 and P10, and only managing to gain one position each during the race is a scenario no team wants to face. Just a week ago, Max was battling it out with both McLarens at Suzuka and took the win. But in Bahrain, he found himself fighting with Hamilton and an Alpine for most of the race. The main issues for Max were the brakes and tire grip. Max was one of the first drivers to pit, switching from soft to hard tires, but things didn't go smoothly. To make matters worse, the red light didn't turn green as it should have, costing Max valuable time. Once on the hard tires, Verstappen was overtaken by both Hamilton and Antelli, and at one point he was even nearly passed by Dan. Frustrated, Max complained about the brakes, saying to his race engineer, "I can't even brake anymore. This is ridiculous." Unfortunately, this wasn't the only time Max expressed dissatisfaction with his car. Throughout the entire race, the four-time world champion also voiced concerns about the car's balance and its tendency to understeer, particularly with the rear end being unstable. When reflecting on the race, Max shared how he felt about being stuck in the position he was in. The start wasn't good. Then the pace was off from the beginning. Tires were overheating again. The balance wasn't where I wanted it. Then with the first pit stop, something went wrong with the lights. I was stuck in traffic. The hard tires didn't work. Low grip, high wear. We pitted again, and the pit stop was even worse, leaving me last. Given all that, finishing P6 was a decent result with the pace we had. There wasn't much more we could have done. What made the situation even more frustrating for Max was that the team had worked on the brakes before the race, trying to fix an issue that had already appeared during qualifying. This meant that despite their efforts, the problem either persisted or worsened. It's easy to understand why Verstappen was angry with the engineers, especially considering the work they put in. After the race, Max was asked by Viaplay if there was a lot to discuss about the situation, and he replied, "For you," implying that the media would have plenty to say about Red Bull's car issues. When asked about an internal meeting that would take place to discuss the car's performance, Max simply responded, Yeah, not at this moment, I don't feel like it." This reaction suggests that the team's internal meeting would be critical, with the presence of key figures such as Christian Horner, Helmut Marko, Pierre Wasch, and Paul Monaghan. The fact that these high-ranking individuals were involved in the conversation about the car's performance indicates just how serious the situation is. It's clear that Red Bull doesn't have a clear solution for the car's struggles, which could signal a shift towards the midfield if they don't make progress soon. Max's frustrations are understandable, especially considering his track record with Red Bull. He has often managed to get the car to perform in ways that no one expected, and now, seeing his team struggle with basic issues, it's hard not to empathize with him. But beyond the technical difficulties, there's a bigger question looming over Red Bull's future. With both drivers starting P7 and P10 and barely making any progress during the race, this could be a sign that the team is falling behind. Just last week, Max was holding off McLaren for a win, and now he's fighting for positions with the likes of Hamilton and Alpine. Red Bull is facing a serious challenge. In Bahrain, the primary issues were the car's balance and tire management. Despite the changes made during the race, including an early pit stop to switch to hard tires, things only seemed to get worse. Max's performance was heavily impacted by the problems, with grip and brake issues putting him on the back foot. This race didn't just highlight the technical flaws of the car, it showed that even the world champion himself couldn't overcome the challenges posed by the current setup. The situation became even more tense when Max had to deal with a pit stop error, which only added to his frustration. He was stuck in traffic for most of the race, and when he finally got back out on track, the car's performance had only deteriorated. The hard tires weren't performing as expected, and the pit stop issues left him near the back of the field. Considering all of this, Max still managed to finish P6, but it was far from a satisfactory result for him. He made it clear that despite the team's best efforts, the car's issues were not being addressed properly, and that was a huge blow to Red Bull's confidence. The team's struggles don't end with the race, however. Max's disappointment was evident when he spoke about the internal meeting. After such a difficult weekend, it's clear that the team needs to do some serious soul-searching. With Christian Horner, Helmut Marko, Pierre Wash, and Paul Monahan at the helm, the fact that they're all involved in discussing the car's performance only highlights how significant the situation is. It seems that even with their expertise, Red Bull is at a loss for a solution right now. Max Verstappen's frustration is not just about this one race, it's about the bigger picture. For a driver who's been at the top of his game for years, dealing with a car that's no longer competitive can be incredibly difficult. And with rumors swirling about Max possibly leaving Red Bull sooner than expected, the pressure is mounting. The downfall of Red Bull from being the dominant force to struggling with performance raises serious questions about Max's future in the team. What's more troubling is that the team doesn't seem to have a clear plan to fix the car's issues. Max has been vocal about how unlikely it is for Red Bull to find a quick solution, which only adds to the uncertainty. If the team doesn't improve quickly, Max may have no choice but to look for opportunities elsewhere. Mercedes has been mentioned as a potential destination for the four-time world champion, and with some key players leaving Red Bull for Aston Martin, it seems like there could be some big changes in the air. As the season progresses, it will be interesting to see how Red Bull handles these challenges and whether Max's future with the team becomes clearer. For now, the only thing we know for certain is that Red Bull's struggles are far from over, and the impact on Max Verstappen's career could be significant. Let us know what you think about Max's future with Red Bull after this rough Bahrain Grand Prix. Do you think he'll stick around, or is it time for a change? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out the next video on your screen right now.